Today we're going to get into some history, and this history is going to be wonderfully interesting, peculiar, bizarre, and I think you'll enjoy it. So, we're going to look at a couple stories that are centering on this particular person, John C. Fremont, the former governor of California. Now, who is John C. Fremont? John C. Fremont, John Charles Fremont, or Fremont, he was an American explorer, a military officer, as you can see, a politician. He was a U.S. Senator from California, and in 1856, he was the first Republican nominee for President of the United States and the founder of the California Republican Party when he was nominated. So he was a very lauded and powerful character in the 19th century United States. Now, his nickname was the Great Pathfinder. A couple of pictures. There's a profile down there. And another interesting thing about John Fremont is that he was a Mason. Yes, he was a Freemason. And actually, that's what his last name is implying. I mean, I don't know what this means. It's just all a lot. It's very confusing. It's very interesting to learn the world that we live in. But yes, he was a Freemason. And I believe it's saying that he actually brought Freemasonry to California in some regard. I mean, he was the founder of the California Republican Party. So, but I didn't read all of this. I just tried to get some basic information about this person. And I was led to this by a couple of stories. We're going to get there in a minute. But what does Fremont mean? Where did I get this little information I'm giving you now? So, here we go. The meaning and origin of Fremont. It's French, Fremont, from a Germanic personal name composed of the elements Fried, Fred, meaning peace, or Friha, or Frisia, free, noble, generous, plus Mund, protection. So he's saying the peaceful protector, or the noble protector, the generous protection, you know? Also, the word Mont means hill or mountain in French. So we could say it means the peaceful hill. His name means the noble hill, the noble mountain. Also, the word monde means society, world, right? You see? People. So this man's name literally means noble society, noble hill, free society. And he is a social hero for the Freemasons. And he was a Freemason himself. Okay, what is Freemasonry? Freemasons belong to the oldest fraternal organization in the world, a group begun during the Middle Ages in Europe as a guild of skilled builders. With the decline of cathedral building, the focus of the society shifted. So whereas during a certain time in Europe, all of the rich lords and rich people employed and, in essence, owned the labor and the person of the people, the other people, the builders especially. Now, also, who created the Freemasons? This document, and it's just something from the History Channel and then has something from Wikipedia. This document has a brief history in its introduction, stating that the craft of masonry began with Euclid in Egypt and came to England in the reign of King Athelstan. Okay? So you'll notice lots of Kemetic, which is Egyptian symbology when you look at Freemasonry, between the different stones being piled each other into obelisks, the all-seeing eye, etc., etc., etc. Okay? So that's a little bit of the connection. Now that we've learned a little bit about this, let's actually get into the story. This one specifically, but another one too. Let's get into the story that I mentioned I wanted to talk about. Okay. Now, my phone, I don't have Wi-Fi right now, so my phone's going to take a little bit of time. You see, I only have a couple bars, so please excuse me, and please excuse my phone service for taking too long. Okay, you see the name of this? The Fremont family goes missing hours after bizarre 911 call. Oh boy, we have ads. I'm going to turn this down for a moment so we can skip past these ads. Look at the symbology already in the ads.
Our big story tonight, police continue their search for a missing Newaygo County family. Nobody has seen or heard from them since Sunday night. Tonight we're hearing the 911 call from earlier that day when the father called police home. News 8's Kyle Mitchell has been following this story and is live now with the latest. Kyle.
Brian, the Fremont police chief says they have no indication of where the family might be, but they're hopeful that they're safe. He says that officers were at the home this Sunday before they went missing. A family of 4 missing without a trace.
Now, I believe that these are not real life people. I believe that these are computer generated images. I believe that they are created probably by some kind of AI program to look like real people. And there's several websites you can go to and do this for yourself. And when you go there, the people look like this. And you can create them with the snap of your finger immediately. It's really kind of fun, actually. But the reason why, okay, so they got these blue backgrounds, and we'll see later where these pictures come from. Even when they show you the supposedly real background, it doesn't look real either. This is the only pictures we're going to get. Now, they said they found these people. I watched a follow-up story. This story is from 6 days ago. And I watched a follow-up story that said they found them. And they show blurry videos that could be anybody. And they show more of these pictures. Now, also, we're going to hear the voice of the person all the way to the left, Anthony, who's the father, who made a phone call. And I believe that that's also a computer-generated voice. It could be real. There are elements of it that sound real. But I'm going to let you decide. I just want to present this to you.
Bizarre 911 call from hours before they disappeared.
Yes, everyone is okay. I need some police protection immediately.
Fremont police say Anthony Sirigliano sounded paranoid when he called officers to his home around midnight on Sunday.
It is of vital national interest. It is related to September 11th, and people want to erase me from the face of the earth. I am not crazy. Mr. Deeding knows me. I'm a Christian. I just need some help, and then the U.S. government will take it from here. I know this sounds crazy. You don't have instructions for this.
Really what my officers were spending a great deal of time doing is talking to him and making sure everybody was safe and trying to make
Now let's go back for a second.
Then the U.S. government will take it from here. Crazy. Mr. Deeding knows it is related to September 11th, and people want to erase me from the face of the earth. I am not crazy.
Isn't it strange?
Police
missing. A family of 4 missing without
Let's
a
just
trace.
go over this again.
Just a bizarre 911 call from hours before they disappeared.
Yes, everyone is okay. I need some police protection immediately.
Now, Fremont means protection. And so he's in this place that's called the place of noble protection, and he's asking the police who serve and protect to come see him. Okay?
Police say Anthony Sirigliano sounded paranoid when he called officers to his...
Now, he did not sound paranoid. His words were paranoid, but nothing about him sounded paranoid. He wasn't alarmed for what he was saying was happening, and he sounded like a robot. Hello, yes, I am not in danger, okay? Let's go. I'm not going to talk. Let's move through it.
It is of vital national interest. It is related to September 11th, and people want to erase me from the face of the earth. I am not crazy. Mr. Geesing knows me. I'm a Christian. I just need some help, and then the U.S. government will take it from here.
Okay, I got to go back. So, I'm not going to get too much into numerology, but it matters to Freemasons numbers, right? So the numbers 3, 6, 9, other numbers, but specifically those, because a lot of this stuff is based on biblical principles. And here we have the numbers 16911. Now all of this adds up to 27, which equals 9. And this is going to be something that's recurring in these stories, is this particular numerology, this particular sum and reduction that's going to equal 3, 6, and 9. And I believe this is some kind of code that they communicate with each other to. And none of this scares me. It is a bit bizarre that we live in a world controlled by people that, communicate like this, but just to make you aware of it.
I'm not crazy. Mr. Geesing knows me. I'm a Christian. I just need some help, and then the U.S. government will take it from here. I know this sounds crazy. You don't have instructions to this.
We're spending a great deal of time doing is talking to him and making sure everybody was safe and trying to make sure that mental illness wasn't putting anybody in jeopardy, because honestly that's a very abnormal thing to say and make a police report of. The police chief says officers were at the home about 45 minutes to an hour.
Let's go back again.
That's a very abnormal thing to say.
Now, this place was established 1854. 1 plus 8 plus 5 plus 4 is 18. 1 plus 8 is 9.
Say and make a police report of. The police chief says officers were at the home about 45 minutes to an hour and left after determining no one appeared in danger. We don't see any signs of violence. We don't see any signs of foul play right now. There's no signs of struggle inside the home. But
45 minutes.
Everyone we've talked to,
4 plus 5 is 9.
A lifelong friend to Suzette or family members, they all describe this to be extremely abnormal behavior. Family didn't want to speak on camera, but told News 8 Anthony on Saturday night. They say he's very protective of his family and wouldn't harm them.
There's that word again, protective.
Talked to him on the phone around 4 p.m.
Now, these are the two pictures that the photos in the beginning with the blue screens come from. Aren't they bizarre pictures? Look at how big this woman's arms are. Her right arm, which is on our left. Look at how big that arm is. Is that even a real arm? And why did they take the blue screen and put it in back of these people and show it to us? Is it real? I don't think so.
Sunday, and thought he seemed better. When she couldn't reach anybody by phone all day Monday, she stopped at their house 2 different times to check on them. At that point, their minivan was gone and the doors were...
All right. They're showing us this car. I'm sure the car is some kind of symbolic thing, but let's just look at the numbers here. Okay. 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 5 is 7. Got 7 over there. 1 plus 9 is 10. 8 plus 2 is 10. So adding all these up, we got 27. Also, again, 9. Okay? So something's being transmitted with this story, or celebrated, or ritualized, and we're being involved in it. Our emotions, our investment in the so-called news. I'm not going to go on a rant about this. I just wanted to present this information to you. I don't really make these type of videos very often, but today I just found these things so peculiar, and I started to do some research and ran into some pertinent information.
Locked. Later that night, a neighbor found Suzette's mom, who has dementia, wandering around the neighborhood.
Now listen to this
when
lady.
the search began.
We just heard through Facebook.
One of the Siriglianos' neighbors, Becca Bergerin, says,
Now they mentioned Facebook. I'm not going to go on about the company or anything like that. I also wanted to point out, let's see, these sunflowers. What does this mean?
Suzette's mom, who has dementia, wandering around the neighborhood. That's when the search began.
The circle. Maybe it's some kind of sun.
Through Facebook.
Maybe some kind of sun worship thing. I mean, the Freemasons are into Egypt, and there's the god Ra, the sun god, that created himself. I'm sure that's probably celebrated, the self-made man in that particular guild, the particular order. And I don't think these people run the entire world. I do think that they're very powerful, and I do know numerous people that are in this organization, some of them very rich and some of them very poor, all of them very secretive and knowledgeable.
The Siriglianos' neighbor,
Let's listen to
Becca
her.
Bergerin, says the community is in shock.
The two boys were always out walking with, I think, a grandma. Super friendly boys. They waved to everybody when you drove by. Super nice. We had talked to them, and the grandma at one point, they walked by and we were outside playing with our kids, and they came by and talked with us, and they were a super sweet family.
Police believe that
She does not seem convincing, and she does not seem sincere. Let's watch that one more time. Now, she doesn't know the two boys' names, but she's saying they're a super sweet family because they waved at people when they drove by. And if you look at this right here, what is she looking at? Is she reading? Is she just making this up out of thin air? Let's watch this again.
Becca Bergerin says the community is in shock.
The two boys were always out walking with, I think, a grandma. Super friendly boys. They waved to everybody when you drove by. Super nice. We had talked to them, and the grandma at one point, they walked by and we were outside playing with our kids, and they came by and talked with us, and they were a super sweet family.
Police believe the family took off in their 2005 silver Toyota minivan. Chief says at this point, they don't know where it might be.
All right, so this next story is also quite strange. It's not as telling as the story we just watched, but we're going to get into it. It's also taking place in Freemont, and it's also a kind of peaceful place where there's this chaos happening, where no one knows what's going on. I may not, let's mute this so we don't have to be advertised.
Ironic with reception. You need a better network.
Just a few more seconds here. I'm sure you saw the numbers.
It's a big mission for a small county.
Fremont County.
I'm sure you saw the numbers in that
It's a big
ad
mission for a small county.
369.
Fremont County Sheriff Kevin
Okay, here let's go.
Astrop is
Come on.
talking about an investigation in western Iowa that is making national headlines. Astrop says a woman claims her late father killed at least 50 women over a span of 3 decades and used his children to help bury them in a well field. The alleged victims are believed to be prostitutes or transients picked up in Omaha and lured to the farmland.
We will try everything we can to prove or disprove this. But as of this time, we have nothing.
But last Friday, 2 cadaver dogs did find something, the scent of what is believed to be human remains buried at the exact spot, an old well that was 3 feet wide and 90 feet deep. The Fremont County Sheriff tells...
Okay, do you see what I'm saying? Can you hear it? The constant 39369, and this is something that Tesla talked about as one of the foundations of his work and his ideas is vibration, magnetism, the numbers 369, these combinations. So, I'm not going to get into it, but I may bring this to the forefront more as I talk about these things in the future.
It took them hours to even find the well, which is in a remote field just over these hills. The sheriff says the well was completely filled in.
Now, do you remember what the word mont means in French? It means hills, mountains. Right, so this is some kind of coding type of thing as far as the speech, the language, over these hills in Freemont. Who knows if this is supposed to trigger some kind of action in the real world from people within this guild? Who knows what it means? But I do know that these aren't, let me phrase this correctly. I would say that a very large portion of these stories are either manipulated, manufactured, or just completely fake. And it is frustrating to know that people are being manipulated, because if you look at all the comments in all these stories, people are completely enthralled and engrossed in the story of it. And I think I may put this as part of the Storytellers series that I'm doing on this channel. All right, let's watch some more.
Astrup says it would cost up to $300,000 to dig the well, so investigators will try other investigative
He's wearing a
methods
pink
first.
badge.
We will get some different notes to try it. That'll be one thing. If we do find a site, we could use metal detectors to see ground penetrating radar. That's a tool we have to use.
Astrup says since the alleged suspect is dead, time is not a factor.
There's no urgency that, hey, there's going to be a murder tomorrow. So we will move when we can move and do it right.
Reporting from Fremont County, Iowa, Laura.
Wasn't that strange the way he said that? Let's go back and look at that, and then we'll end this video.
Time is not a factor.
There's no urgency that, hey, there's going to be a murder tomorrow. So we will move when we can move and do it right.
Reporting from Fremont County, Iowa, Laura Samble, 6 News.
Look at that.
Thanks for
symbol.
watching our
Get out of here,
YouTube
dude.
channel.
Get out of here. All right, so thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll be back soon.